is like this evil beacon. You feel me? But honestly, I can't remember what it was. Massive crowds rush iShowSpeed, YouTube star iShowSpeed, as he tours San Francisco.
What do you love about San Francisco?
We'll start with something funny.
Is so fun here. It's lit.
It is lit. YouTube streaming sensation iShowSpeed put San Francisco in the spotlight. He just wrapped up a whirlwind visit, and he took the...
I will say, it is kind of funny to me that this man has traveled the entire planet. He's gone to places where it's quite difficult to stream, and he has been able to pull off streams no matter where he is around the planet. And his America tour has been a spectacular failure. And I don't mean like, oh, it sucked or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, the infrastructure is so ass. Like, the things that he gets to do are so limited. It blows my mind. What a deep shame for all of us. What a deep shame for our country that this dude did absolute banger streams in China. And when it came down to it, in the United States of America, his own goddamn country, he couldn't fucking pull it off in the same way. And it's not even his fault. It's not his fault at all. This is what I always say. America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. This is what I fucking mean, dude. This is what I mean.
world with him to some iconic spots on this adventure. Good evening, I'm Amadeus.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun today watching this. So many people are wondering, who is iShowSpeed? His real name is Darren Watkins Jr., and he is just 20 years old. Rolling Stone magazine named him the #1 influential creator this year.
That is incredible. He has more than 44 million followers on YouTube and 40 million on Instagram. Speed, as he's known by his fans, is currently on a 35-day tour of the United States, and he is live streaming around the clock. He's done a number of sprint race challenges, including taking on Olympic gold medalist Noah Lyles.
Now, this is day 29 of iShowSpeed's tour, and he got a pretty good taste of the Bay Area, really, during his time. He met up with San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie at City Hall and hit the Golden Gate Bridge across the bay. He dropped in on some popular Oakland business.
That's right. ABC 7 News reporter J.R. Stone joins us now. J.R., as we watched it live, the crowd just descended on him, treated him like a rock star. And I saw you out there running to catch up.
Oh, it was a run all afternoon. I talked with one tourist this afternoon. He said, J.R., I thought President Trump was in town. That came from a tourist this afternoon. I spoke with another crowd.
Dude, I love watching boomers try to understand shit that we do here on this side of the world. You know what I mean? It's always so funny. Yes, I saw the hit and run. Okay? And no, I don't think Trump would get this level of motion if he actually went to San Francisco. Let's be fucking real. Xi Jinping maybe, but not Donald Trump. You feel me? Donald Trump would not be as welcome in the Bay Area as iShowSpeed. Let's be real. Okay? He is getting no love in the streets. People are probably stampeding to be the first to spit in his direction.
Out of people at Pier 39 who said they didn't know what was going on. They thought something was going on. So they ran into a store at that point because they didn't want to get trampled at that point. I have to say, though, the kids were so excited, and I was excited for them. Surrounded by bodyguards and dozens of screaming teenagers, this is the influencer known as iShowSpeed, or Speed as they call him, walking along San Francisco's Pier 39 on Thursday.
You're a real one.
He's a man.
Like, you don't switch up for nobody, bro.
If you don't know Speed, who is flanked by adoring fans everywhere he walked when we were with or near him, your kids probably do. He has more than 40 million followers on each of his social media platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And he seems to be a fan of the news.
Wait, it's the news. It's the news.
You got it. What do you love about San Francisco?
The energy is so fun here. It's lit. Everybody turning up in San Francisco.
I spoke with him before he hopped on the carousel at Pier 39. Just to get to that location was madness.
I was over there and I was trying to see Speed and completely fell over, trampled. And And then Speed like picked me up, of course. Like
Speed picked you up?
Yes.
Oh man, Speed.
Right? He's so nice. What a great dude.
Speed is streaming 24/7 on a 35-day tour of America.
What do people not know about San Francisco that you've seen when you've been here?
The Bay is very underrated. I feel like people tend to like not shed light on it, but it's very lit here. It's so fun here. There's a lot of fun people here, fun things to do here. And I didn't really know about the Bay at all. So, well, now I know, and it's super fun here.
As to what the kids love about one of the biggest influencers on Earth,
he like One Piece, bro. He like anime. He a cool guy. But one thing you gotta know, beat race, man. You not fast.
What is it about Speed that people like?
Bro, we just love him, bro. Speed.
yes, his competitive sayings and barking are a thing online. He took all of that here to Chinatown and showed off his moves. And to the Golden...
Bro, he's just a cultural ambassador. That's it. He's just a chill dude. Okay, good vibes all around. That's it. I will not allow speed slander on this broadcast, okay? I have a lot of respect for him, knowing his career trajectory and where he could have gone and where he chose to go instead, okay? Once again, he has taken two positions that are literally positions that the freaking Democratic Party won't even openly stand for. Free Palestine and being pro-trans, okay? To me, that is so significant, okay? Bye-bye, Israel. Think about the generational attitude change that this man is responsible for. And he's pro-China too. Again, three key policies. He's not anti-China. He's not anti-trans. And he's anti-Israel. Those are, the best. What can I say?
Gate Bridge, where Sky 7 recorded his jump off the railing and onto the sidewalk.
It's just really happy to see him in SF and seeing this community. It's a real dream, like for real.
He makes funny content, but also he travels around in different places. Not a lot of kids right now can travel.
On this day, putting San Francisco and the entire Bay Area on the map.
Shout out to San Francisco. Big Speed. We get lit. Let's go.
Now, on his live stream, Speed repeatedly said today was the craziest day of his whole tour. He wrapped up his night in Oakland, where he stopped at Hyphy Burger. He was met by a giant crowd, and some folks put on a sideshow. It seemed like a new experience for Speed, who was shocked at what he saw. He watched for a few minutes before getting on his way. Certainly, that illegal sideshow could have led to his live being taken down, but it was not. All in all, though.
Oh, my God. Look, local news broadcasters, don't be a narc challenge. Impossible difficulty. Okay?
What a wild day.
Jared, it's like a beetle was in town. And we spent the day learning about this guy, to be honest. So, did you change your mind, or what did you learn today in this process?
I learned about him, too.
This is the first time I've never heard the news calling these people thugs and criminals. Yeah, low-key, he's making local news woke. That's huge. That's huge. Normally, when they would show stuff like that, on a San Francisco local news broadcast, that many black people around, oh my Lord, they'd have the fucking helicopter footage out being like, look at these thugs and criminals. They would have one camera exclusively stationed on a Foot Locker, specifically with the hopes that someone actually breaks in so they can be like, see, I told you, a riot is happening. A black riot. And it's like, it's not even a joke. Like, I've seen this in real time. The thing that I'm talking about with straight up, the thing that I'm talking about happened during BLM protests over and over again, where they would just like play it on repeat. San Francisco just woke in general. They used to it. Are you kidding me? Local news is never woke. Don't be crazy.
I learned that all the kids I know, my godson included, are big fans of him. He's somebody who speaks their language. He likes anime. He likes video games. He travels the world doing just that all over, and they love him for it.
And he seems like a nice guy.
And he's animated. You saw he barks. He says, I'll beat you in a race. He's one of them in their mind. And my godson saw the interview and said, wow, you got to touch Speed today. I said, yeah, that was part of it. And we
He's going to remember you for that.
Yes, yes.
You're a lot cooler tonight.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jared.
The terrorism case against.
Anyway, also some more good news. Kneecap rapper's terror case was thrown out. It was already bullshit. Shouts out to the boys, the absolute mad lads. They were innocent. They were innocent always.
The Kneecap rapper Liam Ogohani has been thrown out.
Have you spoke to Speed about never changing his stance on Free Palestine? Yes, I have. It's even on camera at the last Streamer Awards. I talked to him about it. Nah, bad take. Fuck those losers spinning out with their cars. Ugh, God, bro. Listen, man. I understand the immediate dangers of things such as that. Okay? I get it. I understand it. The proper way to do that would be to make sure you do it in a parking lot. Make sure you get the proper clearance from the state. Okay? I understand that. But in the absence of that, I'm not going to fucking lose my mind over it. Okay? Let's continue. We're moving on. We're talking about Kneecap now. Another moment of vindication. Canadian minister acted on his own in banning Kneecap. I know. This is a legal case now, because now that the British case threw out the terrorism, the prescribed terror organization charge, promoting a prescribed terror organization charge, you no longer have any way of barring Kneecap from Canada or even the United States of America. Now, of course, the U.S. is a little different. They're massive dick riders of Israel, even more so than Canada. But it seems like the Canadian ban might not hold. And it was just simply, it seems like a rogue MP or something. Sources inside the PMO office told me that Vince Gasparo, member of parliament for Eglinton Lawrence, parliamentary secretary, went rogue and decided to bar Kneecap. Let's be clear, there's nothing legal about this. There's no official ban for Kneecap from the Canadian government. This is simply based on the whims of my cousin, Vinny Gasparo, who's a big fan of local lackey Adam Lee Wasserman, also known as Lee Stevenson, a.k.a. Chase, on his website. Okay. Speaking of Canada, important news, nationwide strike by Canada's postal workers to bring mail. Yeah. The hogs are turning on each other. I know. The hogs have been going crazy as well. We'll do some hog watch on the Charlie Kirk assassination as well. As you know, it's a let them fight moment for me. But let's take a look.
Following a technical error in the way the charge against him was brought. The 27-year-old, who performs under the stage name Mohara, was accused of displaying a flag in support of the prescribed terror organisation Hezbollah at a concert at the O2 Forum in Kentish Town, North London, in November last year. Well, let's find out more about what was actually said in court, what led to this decision, and we can speak to our culture and media correspondent David.
Bro, let's be real. It's not because of like the charging error and the technicalities. The reality is they went above and beyond. They got tuned up by some of the worst scumbags in the music business, and the same Hasbro operatives went nutty mode, okay? Why did they do that? Because Kneecap went on Coachella the first week and said America and Israel is committing a genocide, which is true, okay? They said a true statement at a music festival. Coachella punished them and changed which changed the tent that they were supposed to perform in the second week and actually didn't live stream their performance this time. Your boy was there. We live streamed it regardless. And obviously, a lot of the footage that came from that showed that they came out with a statement that said, fuck Israel, free Palestine. This made people go crazy. They were like, how dare you do this? How dare you say fuck Israel, free Palestine at a music concert? Remember Nova, remember October 7? Okay. And they lost their minds. You got Sharon Osbourne, you got all these like different scumbags, different pro-Israel scumbags losing their fucking minds over it, okay? So they scoured through in the exact same way. In the exact same way that they always do, they scoured through hours and hours of festival footage, concert material to find anything that they could to bring criminal charges. And they urged the British government to take action, okay? For something that these guys did in America, that these fucking dipshits were pissed off about, they urged them to take action in the UK. Because in the UK, there's no First Amendment, and also there are prescribed organizations. So if you are found like even showing support or anything like that about any prescribed organization, you can be found legally liable. You could actually go to prison for up to 14 years. Okay? The very fact that the British government would even take action against a group of artists, like, or any artist whatsoever, for anything that they've done in a concert is insane. Okay? It is, even in countries that don't have freedom of speech, there's still plenty of room for interpretation because of artistic expression. The UK is no different. Okay? The UK is no different on this. Make no mistake. So the very fact that they had a Hezbollah flag, for example, could still absolutely be protected under artistic expression. So it was already a bullshit criminal case from the start. But in the process, how's your $3 million villa? Aha, very real laugh. Please talk about the assassination. Hasbara, is Tero Hassan pro-Israel? How's your $3 million villa? It's nice, man. Thanks for asking. This guy hit every line possible. He just glitched. Anyway. So, where was I? Oh, they should have never actually fucking brought these charges anyway, but they did regardless, and they knew they had no real case, so they quietly tried to drop it. Obviously, it wasn't going to be quiet anyway, but here we are. Now they're saying, oh, it's on a technicality.
Dilito. So, David, take us through the legal points that led to this case being thrown out.
In short, they missed the deadline. This is all about a gig, took place at Kentish Town Forum back in November in London. Liam O'Hanna, as he was described in court today, to his fans, of course, Mahara, was seen with a...
For those of you who don't know, like, this is a diss as well. Mohara is, like, they're also doing a dig at, like... the Irish way of saying his name too. This is something that's like complicated for me as well. Like I don't fully know the details, but like it's a big part of it's unironically a big part of why Kneecap is what they are for the Irish folk in general, is that their goal is to restore the Irish language, right? And British people just simply can't say their Irish name, I guess. I don't know. It's just but it does kind of feel like another like not so subtle dig.
Flag, a Hezbollah flag. He said it was something that had been thrown on stage at the time. He is not a supporter of Hezbollah or Hamas. But 6 months later, a terrorism charge was brought because, of course, Hezbollah is a proscribed terrorist organization. In the end, the decision was made that that actual charge was brought essentially a day late, and so the case was thrown out. And the reason I'm standing here is there was a very large number of supporters here. There's just the final few here this morning. They've been here supporting the band Kneecap and Liam O'Hana, and throughout it all. And he came out, and it was a huge crowd of people this morning, and spoke on stage saying this was not anything about what they were doing. This was all about their support for Gaza and Palestine, and saying this was a politically...
It's true. That is precisely the reason why this became an issue. And if you want to understand a similarity from my own personal experience, for example, me fucking interviewing a Yemeni dude became a major point of contention months after the fact, when people were like, oh, this is an avenue that we can attack this person and maybe even attack the entire platform of Twitch for not punishing this person. That's not how that works, right? Nobody gave a shit when I first conducted the interview, and in the interview, the person that I interviewed, Rashid al-Haddad, said that he was not a member of Houthi, even though the Houthis were not a prescribed terror organization. No, okay, pick it. Even though the Houthis at the time were not even a prescribed terrorist organization, a state terrorist organization at that point, regardless. And even if they were, it's still a First Amendment protected act to interview a member of the Ansar Allah movement. So you can't get upset about that. You can suck my dick if you get offended about that. In any case, people lost their minds months after the fact. They try to make a big deal out of it. They try to manufacture outrage around it. It didn't go anywhere, but that didn't stop people from consistently being like, oh, he loves terrorism. He loves terrorism. He loves terrorism. It's the same shit here.
Motivated. But they have had a number of run-ins over the last few months. They have had their visas turned down going into Canada, so they can't tour there. But today, certainly, they were considering this a victory in court.
Yeah, and David, we're just seeing a bit more detail about the Chief Magistrate there at the
Ireland trip 2026? No, before. I'm either going to go in December or in the upcoming couple of months. I'm going to be in Dublin.
court. Paul Goldspring agreeing with O'Hanny's lawyers, who argued that the Attorney General hadn't given permission for the case to be brought against the defendant when police informed him he would face a terror charge on May the 21st. So as you...
Yeah, here is his speech, by the way, which BBC is not showing.
This entire process was never about me. Never about any threat to the public. Never about terrorism. A word used by your government to discredit people you oppress. It was always about Gaza. About what happens if you dare to speak up. As people from Ireland, we know oppression, colonialism, famine and genocide. We have suffered and still suffer under your empire. Your attempts to silence us have failed because we're right and you're wrong. We will not be silent. We said we would fight you in your court and we would win. Today we have. If anyone on this planet is guilty of terrorism, it's the British state. Free Palestine, Chucky Ireland.
BBC not showing the speech, like the day-to-day skit of no. Okay. Let's not. There's too much to cover still, so I'm going to move on from this. But
say that
I'm going to
technical
finish
issue
this article
over
and
the
then
timing
and then
of
we're going
this.
to move
In
on.
his judgment, Mr. Goldspring said these proceedings were instituted unlawfully and are therefore null. And on that point that you were alluding to, David, of where music and politics cross, I mean, What are we likely to see on that front? Because Kneecap now right at the forefront of that discussion.
Very much so. A band formed, I think, back in 2016. They have, as a consequence of these legal difficulties, they have certainly attracted a large amount of extra attention. People aware of their music. Of course, they had the film, sort of semi-fictionalized account of their birth as a band, won a BAFTA award. So they have attracted a great deal of attention, both for their music and for their politics, and this has certainly sort of brought them center stage. They've had to postpone their touring in America as well because of this legal issues. But you only had to see the crowd when they were playing in Glastonbury this year. You realized, you know, all the questions have been raised about whether or not it should be live streamed by the BBC. It was recorded, then played out later. So there was essentially, they have certainly drawn a huge amount of attention because of all of this. And today, when you saw them arriving with a huge crowd of press photographers around them, and this place, christened Kneecap Hill today, absolutely filled with hundreds and hundreds of people. We are out in Woolwich Crown Court. I mean, it's not the centre of London. And when they were at Westminster Crown Court, I mean, they stopped the road. They stopped a part of London. So certainly this has drawn a huge amount of attention.
Anyway, let's get to it. Satan Yahoo, our top news story of today. Satan Yahoo, Israeli Prime Minister at the UN General Assembly. Now, even before Satan Yahoo made his way to the United States of America, there was already a lot of news. And even before he delivered this speech, there was a lot of news surrounding him. Number one, when he was flying to the United States, he actually had to avoid the airspace of numerous European countries, such as Spain. Okay? Interesting. Big L for him. Good start. When he came to the United States of America, he was staying at the Lowe's Hotel. I believe it's like a $1,700 a night stay that, of course, is taxpayer funded. And people figured out where he was staying. And of course, they wanted to protest around where he was staying. But the American government, once again, did what it loves to do best. Use tax dollars to defend Israel. Breaking, NYPD is mass arresting protesters outside of Netanyahu's hotel, accusing them of making unreasonable noise. What's truly unreasonable is Netanyahu murdering over 680,000 Palestinians. Our noise is resistance. Our noise is justice. New York is on our side, and the cars passing by are honking for Palestine and not letting Netanyahu sleep tonight.
This is not the United States of America. It's the United States of Israel. The same shit that's happening in Israel right now. Israel.
Yeah. Not only did they arrest people that were protesting, they also shut off the entire street around the hotel, for the record, which is even more tax dollars being spent. Interesting. But I guess it's just one fucking speed for America, you know? One speed. Netanyahu is more important than you, tax-paying citizens. Your tax dollars go to you to both defend him in the homeland when he's here in the United States of America. Your tax dollars go to fund his lavish hotel stays. Your tax dollars go to him bringing his literal dirty laundry. Okay? And then your tax dollars go to the militarized police force of the NYPD, shutting down entire blocks of New York City so that Benjamin Netanyahu can sleep comfortably at night, so he can come out and deliver this dog shit speech. Now, of course, things are changing. Things are changing. What do I mean by this? Well, the United Nations General Assembly and its damn near entirety walked out before the Satan Yahoo General Assembly address. There was a bunch of stuff that Satan Yahoo did that was also unique that I'm going to be talking about as well. Before the address started, he ordered the IDF to bring in a bunch of PAs into the Gaza Strip. Okay. He brought in a bunch of PAs into the Gaza Strip so that I guess the Palestinians could hear his wonderful speech. There were reports of the Israeli government intercepting the phones of Palestinians and blasting his speech as well. I can't confirm that one. I don't know, but I can confirm that at least the Palestinians that I talked to in Gaza did not hear the speech at all, for the record. Not just reports. Netanyahu confirmed it in the speech. Yeah, he was fucking view-botting. Look at this. Jerusalem. In unprecedented operation, Israeli army takes over mobile phones in Gaza residents to carry Netanyahu's UN speech live. In an unprecedented action, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a live broadcast from the UN building in New York, has announced that the IDF took control over the telephones in Gaza residents and Hamas members, and that his speech is now being broadcast live via their telephones. The Prime Minister appealed to the residents of Gaza and made it clear that the war could end immediately upon the return of the hostages, the disarming of Hamas, and the demilitarization of the Strip. We still act as though this is not a concentration camp that Israel has complete control over, by the way. So stupid. So unimaginably stupid. They didn't take them over. They sent an SMS to tune into him with a URL. Oh, okay. Regardless, the fact that they have the fucking phone numbers of every single person with a phone. Cartoonishly evil shit. Despite the loudspeaker operation so far, residents in Gaza complain in Telegram groups that they hear nothing from Netanyahu's speech, which is supposed to be broadcast on loudspeakers deployed by the IDF. This was really funny. And I did check with people in Gaza, and they also confirmed to me that they could not hear the speech. So, you know, their ears were spared. He was mudded. Yet another spectacular L for the Israeli occupational force. Yet another spectacular L for the diaper brigades, piss reel, whatever you want to fucking call it. Now, the speech is long, it's convoluted, and it's more so about flexing, okay? Also, shouts out the quadriplegic. Thank you for the 69 gifted subs, and Valorant as well for the 19 gifted subs. Again, Netanyahu bragging about hijacking cell phones in Gaza to force the Palestinians. He's starving to hear a speech that half the United Nations walked out on. What more can you say? Says Prem Talker. Correct. And also, this is yet another instance of Israel looking to the Nazi regime and what the Nazis historically did to the Jews and saying, well, that seems like a great idea. We should do that in our own Holocaust. The photo, this is from Rami Abdul from Euromed HR, Human Rights. The photo shows Israeli army trucks with loudspeakers broadcasting Netanyahu's speech to displace Gaza residents. Where did the Israeli army get this idea? From the Nazi German army, which spread Hitler's propaganda in concentration camps. I swear to God, it is literally 1-to-1, dude. The only exception is that there is just not a gas chamber. That's it. Like, it is the same kind of mechanized death taking place inside of a ghetto, a ghettoized population, a concentration camp. Yes, yet. They're being starved to death. They're being bombed into oblivion. It is a 1-to-1. Bro, come on. The Japanese do the same thing for political messaging. This is not new. Dog, you just brought up another fascist government. You just brought up another fucking fascist government. Yeah, no shit. I know. This one is unique, though, because literally, this is a very significant historical event that impacted the entire Jewish world. Okay? That's why I'm saying they're literally looking at shit that the Nazis did to their great-grandparents and going, this is my shit. I like it. I'm going to do it myself to the newfound enemies. By the way, for additional Holocaust context, see if you can spot the similarities. The Nazis tortured the prisoners whom they had branded as nationless fellows with speeches by Nazi party leaders. All this had been introduced with hours and hours of speeches by Hitler and recordings of march music. Anyway, the speech is ass. I don't even know if I want to watch the whole thing. It's a European Jewish experience, not world Jews. True. Fair. But it's so consequential and so impactful that like every Jewish person around the planet has felt it, is what I mean. Like it's something that has impacted every single Jewish person culturally. So I hope they show a crowd shot. That's what I want to show from this speech first and foremost.
Please, order in the hall. Please, order in the hall. Please, order in the hall.
Cucks.
Please order.
Danny Danon, please clap. What are you doing? You are Hamas. You are Hamas. All of you. You are all Hamas. I am Danny Danon. Why are you leaving? No politic here. No politic. Israel number one. Israel number one. Anti-Semitism. It's like upvoting your own YouTube comment. Yeah, true. True. See, there are people who love Israel. I love Israel. Danny Danon. Do you practice in the shower? No, I've just heard his dumbass so many fucking times that it's just burned into my conscience. Do not walk away.
In the hall.
You are walking away anti-Semitically. You are all Hamas. It's wild that, yeah, someone pointed this out, but it's wild that there's traffic walking out. That's how many people are walking out, that they're like bumping into one another. Oh, man. Now, of course, this is still symbolism, but it is consequential. It is meaningful. Even if it's like the conditional state recognition is still consequential, is still meaningful. These things take time. Remember, I understand why people are frustrated. Just remember, if you're frustrated, that means that our job is not over, okay? You just got to keep pushing. You just got to keep bringing more allies to the cause, more people to the forefront, more people to engage in direct action, more people to mobilize. It is what it is, okay? That's why I always say whenever I see new polls that come out where people are like 56% of Americans think Israel is committing a genocide. 60% of Americans don't like Israel, stuff like that. I'm like, it's not enough. Okay? It's not enough. We got to get those numbers up. And I'll be talking about that in a little bit because a new poll just came out. Those are rookie numbers. It is a real shame that Americans are still asleep.
Please order in the hall and please be seated.
Why didn't the UN arrest them? Because the UN has no power, okay? He's in the United States of America, he's in New York, and he's Trump's daddy. So that shit's not happening, okay? It's like asking, why did the UN not arrest Donald Trump? By the way, they brought in hype men in anticipation for this. The General Assembly Hall is mostly empty as Netanyahu speaks, with many delegations having walked out. But the audience gallery above the hall, where member states can bring guests, is full, suggesting, I don't even know who brigaded. I think Hassan brigaded it. And I was like, brigaded it? I'm on the fucking episode. I just said, go show the fucking podcast some love. But in any case, I don't have any issues with these guys, but I do think it's kind of funny that like everyone is using the one time where they were in an interest of making content out of it, like they were just going back and forth on it. The Australian news is literally covering it. Wait, what?
Why is the One Piece flag flying?
Yeah, that's okay. Let's just start here first, and then we'll get to the Australian news side.
He literally is. I mean, he's fighting. I hate that you're kind of.
Hassan was banned from coming back to the Trash Taste podcast after that episode because their audience.
That's not true. That it wasn't that episode. That was I was on again. I was banned after the second time I went on.
Was so up in arms that he would dare to bring the political allegory that is One Piece to the forefront in those conversations. As someone who's been making videos for a short amount of time, it's actually easy to just talk about the different aspects of Nen in Hunter x Hunter. It's easy to talk about the different devil fruits. It's easy for me to respond to comments where people need me to clarify a fight between Hisoka and Chrollo. What's hard is to go against the people that side with oppression or the people that are complacent to it, and they don't want you to bring it up. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to take these kinds of stances. As far as I can tell, that is the Trash Taste podcast listenership. They would like to bury their head in the sand of happy-go-lucky rubber boy punching big dragon dude. They don't want to see that Kaido is a capitalist overthrow and a totalitarian regime that owns an entire island and is subjugating its people. They don't want to see these kinds of things because then it reflects reality back at them, and they want to escape from reality. They'd rather not pick a side. They'd rather not.
I think this is a decent assessment for a lot of the One Piece fandom that at the time got mad at me for saying this and was yelling at me. If you remember, a lot of like the big One Piece accounts that were that constantly fucking rage bait didn't even care about what I was saying or the argument that I was making, and turned around and were just simply fucking, remember those like big blue check mark accounts on Twitter at the time? They were going hella fucking aggro on me. They're like, Hassan called Luffy a terrorist. What is he, the one world government? They didn't even understand what I was fucking saying. Like I was like, he's a freedom fighter. I'm saying he's a freedom fighter. Like what you would call someone a terrorist in the real world sometimes could also be a freedom fighter. Like that's the point I was trying to make. But basically, a lot of people at the time were mad, but 2 years after that, at this stage, around the globe, the Straw Hat pirate's flag is now seen as like a symbol of resisting against oppressive governments internationally. Nepal, Indonesia, no matter where people go, there's One Piece flags at the fucking pro-Palestine protests. It is straight up now seen as a flag by the youth. It is now seen as a flag by the youth to resist against unjustifiable systems of oppression. So I would say that this is quite literally one of my most resilient takes.
Advocate for people that need it. They would rather run away. And when you refuse to advocate for the people who need it the most, don't be alarmed when you are counted on the list with the oppressor by the oppressor. It is not only the people that are against oppression who will count you as against them. It is the people who are doing the oppression will count on the fact you will not speak up.
I think this dude's assessment is pretty correct, though. Trash taste motherfuckers are really chill people. I used to watch them a lot. Anime audience motherfuckers still have a lot of right-wing people do. Very different from Connor, Joey, and Garn's politics. Comes with the territory a bit to self-censor, and also with the additional brigading. They just don't want to be harassed by Hassan haters, y'all. We see how nasty Hassan ops get, and they just want to protect their team and crew. Like, that was the real reason. That was definitely the reason. I can't stop people from fucking feeling some type of way about that, especially because at the time, it's like I was getting my ass fucked from 11 different directions, whether it be like the Israeli government, literally, or whether it be like a bunch of fucking liberal content creators who were presenting me as a fucking terrorist using the most Islamophobic sentiment that possibly could fucking arrive at. To be like, he's a terrorist, he's a terrorist, he's a terrorist. Over and over and over again. Now, of course, a lot of those people have shut the fuck up now. Have you noticed? They've been mad quiet because it fucking feels like it's fuck Israel o'clock. Something I've noticed is fuck Israel o'clock right now. That's what it feels like to me. So a lot of those apolitical centrist Andes who made it seem as though they were simply critiquing just the pro-Palestinian side, they've been quite quiet as of late. Just saying. So no, I don't have like, I don't have a lot of smoke for the Trash Taste boys in general. I'm just simply talking about the One Piece's political take. The One Piece's political take has been resilient. The One Piece is about revolutionary politics has been resilient. And it's so crazy because one of the things that I talked to about Timothy Chalamet, who was just like a 19-year-old TikToker at the time. Turns out he's not a part of the Houthis, even though I initially thought, just like everybody else, that he could have been. Turns out he wasn't, right? That we found out in the interview. The one thing that everyone constantly talks about, like about how Hassan needs to be banned. Hassan needs to be banned. He interviewed a Houthi. Once again, I can't believe he brought up One Piece to the Houthi. I can't believe he brought up One Piece to the Houthi. Racist ass motherfuckers, bro. Racist ass motherfuckers. Vindication. If Israel's approval ratings are in the fucking dirt today, what do you think people are going to look at and reflect on tomorrow? The more people recognize the reality of Israel's genocide, the more people are going to come to terms with why some people resist against said genocide in the most like non-violent ways possible too. But yeah, this is not a I told you so moment anyway. This is a moment to continue acting, to continue pushing. Okay?
Your audience will also desert you. I don't know if Lolly Man over here, the anime man, ever realized that he probably
This
had.
is like fucking 3 minutes long. But yeah, my point is, it's funny that like there is like a little bit of miscommunication, I think. There is a there is a little bit of a wrong assessment here, because I don't even think that the Trash Taste podcast is like expressly right wing at all. They do have a very right wing audience, and I think that's probably the reason why they engage in self censorship. And not only that, but also that's the reason why they fucking banned me. But it wasn't over the One Piece take. I'm just correcting the record. In any case, the One Piece takes like popping off. People talking about One Piece is political. One Piece is revolutionary politics. It's great. Another thing that I've seen is like a bunch of fucking 4chan dipshits talking about GI Robot. They're like shitting on GI Robot, being like, GI Robot is actually so lame. The fact that people celebrate this like Nazi killing robot, they just don't understand. Like, people are just dumb as fuck. People are shitting on GI Robot out there. What do you mean? He's just a robot that wants to kill Nazis. The fuck's the problem? When did we get to a point where people don't immediately look at you and go, you're being weird, dog? What do you mean? It's a Nazi killer. That's a good thing. This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Like, they tried this shit with Wolfenstein. Nazis tried this shit with Wolfenstein. Remember when it came out, people were like, oh, this is a Nazi killing game. This is really fucked up. And everybody laughed at them. Everyone was like, shut the fuck up. What are you, a Nazi? Why are you offended by this? And it kind of feels like we're at a stage now where people are just way more comfortable about being like, you actually shouldn't celebrate killing Nazis. What a deep shame for everyone. They're calling Indiana Jones woke now for also doing the same. How the fuck did we get here? Yeah, it's this fucking dipshit.
Funny thing about Jerry,
I can't stand this motherfucker. This guy has been like, this guy used to also present himself as a liberal, and I think like this time around, because I remember we watched one of his videos when he was like, I'm a liberal, and as a liberal, I can't stand Hassan Piker because he is a real problem for the cause of liberalism, or whatever the fuck. And now he's just straight up a neo-Nazi, like openly fucking admitting that he's a goddamn neo-Nazi. I cannot believe it. Who would have thought people who present themselves as progressives, who constantly fucking left bash, would be Nazis or neo-Nazis openly only a couple years later? Remember, this motherfucker way back in the day used to talk about how he would try to like attack me from the perspective of like a real progressive. He was like, I'm a liberal, a real progressive. Hassan is not a real progressive. Now this motherfucker's running around shitting on people for celebrating GI Robot killing Nazis and neo-Nazis. Any criticism equals Nazism? I mean, for this, a little bit, yeah. Yeah. If you're this bent out of shape over a fictional robot that kills Nazis, then you might fucking be a Nazi. Something to consider. Maybe as a LARP, but why are you fucking LARPing as a Nazi anyway? Yeah, if you want to know like the fucking brigade, the brigading that went crazy over this was probably my least political. This was the second time I went on Trash Taste, and it was all of these like fucking lolly ass Nazis like this. This dude is a Mexican, by the way. A Mexican neo-Nazi, straight up. Name is Hayasaka Aryan. Like, look, Hassan, I love sex trafficked girls, Piker. Man, Trash Taste fell off if y'all brought Hassan on. Heavy fucking brigading. Do you guys think the Houthis like Luffy too? That is the real reason that I was banned from participating in Trash Taste. Anyway. But yeah, very, very strange things happening in the world right now. Very, very strange shit. But it gives me a little bit of confidence that I think a lot of people are beginning to recognize exactly what's taking place, you know? Whether it be Israel's genocide, or whether it be the political nature of One Piece and the revolutionary politics inside of One Piece. I still find it odd that the anime community trends more right-wing. No, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. It's escapism. Japan is a very right-wing culture. And a lot of people see Japan as like the perfect society because of its xenophobic tendencies. Whether it be, also pedophilia too. There's that too. It makes a lot of sense. Japan is a fucking ethno state. Having said that, however, of course, there are many Japanese people like Hideo Kojima or even Oda himself that have, or even fucking, what's his face? Studio Ghibli. Like, there are mad fucking revolutionary Japanese people out there. Now, some of their politics might not be super in line, but yeah, Miyazaki as well. Miyazaki is Hayao Miyazaki, not the best person in his own personal affairs, but his politics are very interesting. His politics are very great. He is a anti-AI, very worried about climate change, anti-imperialist, an open hater of the United States of America, anti-fascist. So there are a ton of incredibly important artists and auteurs in Japan that do not reflect the broader views of Japanese society, or rather have a very unique take on a lot of things, especially in comparison to like American perspectives. Yeah, Miyazaki was a literal Marxist organizer. Yep. So remember that. And there's also a shit ton of mangakas that have come out in support of Palestine. So there's that famous drawing that represents Palestinian resistance. I forget. It's like the kid with his hands behind his back. A bunch of Japanese mangakas actually redrew that in their own art style as well. There was like a sequence, Handala, yeah. There was a sequence of like Japanese mangakas that redrew that. All around the world, artists did that in an effort to show their pro-Palestinian leanings. And a bunch of Japanese mangakas also did that too. I think you don't really know Oda, individualism, Darwinism, and Kojima, misogynist, anti-woke. Oh my God. I don't care, man. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. There are, please stop. People are multifaceted. I literally already accounted for it. And I said that they're not going to correspond to your worldview 100%. Okay. Shut the fuck up. God damn. The perspective I'm talking about is like revolutionary politics or anti-imperialism. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Stop being fucking like stop refusing to hear what I'm saying and then making up your own mind about it. Okay? Be fucking normal. Jesus Christ. Vodka tube. Why do you care so much about sending immigrants back to their own countries? They'll be happier there with their people. Opinion disregarded. Ignore that shitter. Oh, he's just trying to be what? What is this? Aren't you worried that during a congressional hearing, a compilation of all your hyperbolic calls for violence won't be played? Just an observer. Don't worry about it, big dog. Just an observer here. Just an observer that's like fantasizing about the federal government taking action against my least favorite Twitch streamer. I promise you, your life is not going to get better if I get banned. I mean, maybe I will, you know, maybe they'll apply the correct amount of pressure and then Amazon will say, ah, fuck that. You know, fuck this guy. Okay, I'm gone. I'm gone from Twitch. Did anything change for you? No. You have to fix your own life. You can't live like this, okay? This is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. You know for a fact my rent goes up by $20 every time you do gaming? Yeah. I will never understand that. If you just spent a little bit more time listening to what I actually have